My 7-year-old pointed at the family tree and asked, "Where are we?" My mom smirked. "Let's not ruin the moment in front of everyone." I said, "Then you're off the family vacation list." And she went pale, then my brother whispered, "Did you just start a war?" I wasn't even supposed to be there that day. It was a warm Sunday in Asheville, North Carolina. Late April, with that kind of sticky heat where everything smells like wet leaves and old wood. My mom had been texting me all week about some family lunch. She said everyone would be there, that she'd made banana pudding and pulled pork and whatever else. I almost ignored it, like I usually do, but my son Ben had been having a rough week at school. Thought maybe some grandma time would cheer him up. Mistake. We pulled up to the house around noon. I noticed right away my brother Mark was already there. His stupid lifted truck blocking the whole driveway like he always does. His wife's Escalade parked behind him. My sister Danielle was there too, which was rare as hell. She usually only comes around for birthdays or when she needs money. The second we walked in, it was fake smiles and stiff hugs. You know the kind? The ones that feel like people just touching your back out of habit, not care. The smell of meat and sugar and too much Febreze hit us in the face. Everyone was already halfway through their drinks, talking over each other in the living room. Ben clung to my side like he always does in new places. He's a quiet kid, real soft-spoken, always watching. He doesn't miss anything. Lunch was tense. The kind of silence that hides behind loud conversations. Everyone was talking about the lake house trip in June like we were just some big happy family. Mark bragging about some boat upgrade. Danielle scrolling on her phone the whole time. I sat there eating cold mac and cheese while my mom kept talking around me instead of to me. Ben barely touched his plate. I figured maybe he wasn't hungry, but later I'd realize he was already starting to sense the weirdness. After lunch, while the adults were busy fake laughing about something on TV, Ben wandered off down the hallway. That hallway. The one with the wall. See, my mom has this hallway that's basically her shrine to the family. Photos lined up in perfect rows. School portraits, wedding pictures, baby announcements. And in the middle of all that, the big one, the tree. This giant wooden plaque she had made years ago. A big oak tree carved into it with branches stretching out. Each branch had names on it. Little engraved wooden tiles neatly placed. 38 names, all the cousins, all the spouses. Second cousins. Newborns who couldn't even walk yet. Everyone. Except me and Ben. I knew it before I even walked down there. I knew, I always knew. But Ben didn't. I heard his voice echo down the hallway. Quiet, confused. "Mom. Where are we?" I walked up behind him, and my chest felt like someone was sitting on it. He was standing there with his head tilted, finger lightly touching the tree like he was looking for a puzzle piece that didn't fit. I didn't say anything, because what the hell was I supposed to say? Before I could even kneel down and answer him, my mom appeared behind us, sweet tea in hand, like she had planned this moment. She looked right at Ben, smiled, and said, "Let's not ruin the moment." Like that, just those words. Let's not ruin the moment. Like my son had just interrupted some peaceful scene by asking where the hell he fit in. I turned to look at her. She was still smiling. That fake-ass grandma smile she pulls out when company's over. I stared her dead in the face and said, "Then your name won't be on the list for the family vacation." It came out before I even thought it through. My voice was calm, sharp. It felt like cutting glass with my tongue. The smile dropped. Fast. The house, which had been full of chatter just seconds ago, went dead quiet. From the hallway, I could see Mark stand up in the living room. Danielle lowered her phone for the first time all day. My dad was still in his recliner, eyes on the floor, pretending to be invisible like always. My mom blinked, swallowed. What?" I repeated it, slower this time. "I said if we're not part of the family, then don't expect to see us at the lake house, or anywhere else." Ben looked up at me. He didn't cry. He just waited, like he was watching to see if someone was going to lie to him. That's when the panic started. Mark walked over like he was about to play peacemaker. He raised his hands like he always does when he thinks someone's being dramatic. "Come on," he said. "You're making this a bigger deal than it is." I looked at him and laughed, not because it was funny, because it was so predictable. Danielle chimed in next. "It's probably just a mistake," she said. "I don't even think Mom updated it in a while." I walked over to the tree. "Really?" I asked, pointing at a tile. "This baby right here, Aubrey with 2 E's, she was born in February. Her name's already up, it's April. Silence. I turned back to my mom. You put her on here, but not your own grandson. Not your only grandson. Her eyes darted between me and the tree. She opened her mouth, closed it, then finally said, You never sent me his birth details. I asked, you didn't respond. My hands started shaking. You think I didn't respond? I said. Or did you just not like the answer? I turned and looked at the whole hallway, the whole fucking lie of it. Years of family plastered on a wall like it meant something, like it was sacred. You erased us, I said. Don't act like this was a paperwork error. Ben reached for my hand, I took it, and we walked out the door. Nobody followed, nobody called out, nobody stopped us. That was the moment I knew, the final nail. All the stuff I ignored over the years, comments about how I changed, after having Ben, about how hard I made things by raising him alone, how I took myself out of the family by not being more involved. All of it came rushing up to the surface like rot in water. They didn't forget us, they left us out on purpose, and now they'd have to live with that. We didn't go straight home after we left. I needed air, I needed space, so I drove, no music. Just the sound of the tires humming against the road, and my son in the backseat, staring out the window like he'd seen something he couldn't unsee. Because he had. I pulled into this old parking lot near the overlook up on Town Mountain Road. Empty lot, dead leaves swirling around in little circles. The kind of place teenagers sneak off to drink or smoke. I used to come here myself when I was younger, back when I still thought family meant something. I parked and turned around in my seat. You okay, buddy? Ben nodded, but I could tell he wasn't. Did I do something wrong? He asked. It felt like someone poured acid down my throat. I reached back and held his hand. No, baby, I said. You didn't do anything wrong. Grown-ups just sometimes they get it wrong. He nodded again, still watching the trees sway. We sat there for a long time. That night, after I put him to bed, I opened my phone and started scrolling through the family group chat. 52 people in there. Cousins, uncles, in-laws. Most of them just use it for baby pictures or church updates or those dumb chain prayer messages. I took a picture of the family tree wall before we left. I hadn't even realized I did it, but there it was in my photo gallery. That giant plaque with 38 names. I posted it in the group chat. No caption, just the photo. Then I typed out, anyone else notice who's missing? And I hit send. It was like throwing a lit match into a room soaked in gasoline. First came the silence. You could feel people reading it, their little profile pictures popping up. Then came a few awkward replies. Cousin Rebecca said, wait, where's Ben's name? Like she was solving a crossword puzzle. Then came the excuses. Oh, I'm sure it was just an oversight. Probably just a mistake. Your mom didn't mean anything by it. Didn't mean anything by it. That woman made that damn plaque by hand. Spent hours choosing fonts and wood stain. She meant every nail and glue dot. So I wrote back. She had time to put a baby born in February on it, but not her own grandson who's 7. And not me, so tell me again how it's a mistake. And then I logged off. 2 days later, I got a message from Mark. He never texts me. You need to apologize, Mom's a wreck. Dad hasn't eaten. You blew this way out of proportion. That's when I realized something. They were more upset about me calling it out than about what they did, so I called him. He picked up fast like he was ready for a fight. You got a minute, I said. Barely, he said. I've got meetings all day and now I gotta deal with this drama. Good, I said. Then I won't waste your time. He sighed. I don't know what you're trying to do here, but you're hurting everyone. And for what? A piece of wood, I laughed. You think this is about the plaque, isn't it? No, I said. It's about the fact that nobody noticed we weren't on it. Not until I said something. That's how little we matter to you. He didn't respond. So I kept going. You think I'm being dramatic? I've shown up. I've brought Ben around. You all smile to my face and then carve my name out behind my back. Mark cleared his throat. Look, I'm not trying to pick sides here. But you've always been difficult. There it was, that word. Difficult. I've been hearing it since I was 17. When I got pregnant and didn't tell anyone until I was halfway through the second trimester. When I dropped out of college to raise my son. When I said no to their advice. No to their help, because their help always came with strings. Yeah, I said. I've been difficult to ignore, difficult to erase. But guess what, Mark? You all managed. Then I hung up. I wasn't done though, not even close. That weekend my Aunt Teresa called me. She's always been the quiet one in the family, lives in Tennessee, doesn't talk much. But she called me out of the blue. I saw the photo, she said, and I just wanted you to know I noticed too. I didn't say anything at the time because, well, you know how your mom is. I didn't respond. She kept talking. I always wondered why you were left out of things. Your mom has a way of rewriting history to make herself the victim. That hit me like a punch. I think you need to know something, she said. Your mom told us a while back that you didn't want to be included, that you asked not to be listed on the family tree. My mouth went dry. She said what? That you didn't want to be associated with the family anymore. That you made that decision, that's why nobody questioned it. She sounded ashamed. She lied. I believe you, she said. I'm sorry. I hung up and just sat there. All this time, they thought I chose to be erased. My mom told everyone that I asked to be left off. That Ben and I didn't want to be part of the family. That's when it really hit me. This wasn't just some passive-aggressive slight. This was a rewrite. She didn't just forget us. She removed us. And told everyone it was my idea. A few days later, Ben came home from school with a drawing. It was a tree. Crayon scribbles, messy and bright. At the top, he wrote, "My family," under it, 2 names, Ben and Mom, that was it. He didn't even ask about Grandma anymore. He'd made peace in a way I hadn't. But I wasn't done yet. I wanted the truth to come out. I wanted the whole damn tree to come crashing down. The week after the phone call with Aunt Teresa, I didn't sleep. I kept turning things over in my head, everything my mom had told people about me. About Ben. How many lies had she spread over the years? What else had she told the family that made them nod and smile and treat me like a distant cousin instead of her own daughter? I decided to find out. I didn't just let it go. I started digging. First, I called my cousin Amanda. We were close when we were kids before everything got weird. She's got twins now, lives out in Winston-Salem. I hadn't talked to her in maybe a year. "Hey," I said when she picked up. "I need to ask you something." She paused, then said, "Is this about the family tree thing?" "Yeah," I said. "What exactly did my mom say about me? About why we weren't on it?" She went quiet. "I mean, she said you didn't want to be part of things anymore. That you got real private after having Ben, that you didn't come around much, and when you did, you acted like you were better than us." That last part made my stomach twist. She said I acted like I was better. Yeah, like that you looked down on the rest of us because we stayed close and you chose to do things your own way. I was gripping the phone so hard my knuckles cracked. "Did she say that about me?" I asked again. Her words were, "She thinks she's too good for this family. She made her bed, now she can lie in it." There it was, the truth. My mom had been rewriting my story for years, turning me into the villain of her little family drama, painting me as ungrateful, cold, arrogant. Meanwhile, I was just trying to raise my son and survive. But here's the thing about trying to burn someone quietly: you never expect them to come back with gasoline of their own. The next twist came fast, and it came from the one person I didn't expect, my dad. 3 days after the Amanda call, I got a letter, not a text, not an email. A handwritten letter, folded in thirds, no return address. Just my name written in neat, tight cursive on the front. Inside was 2 pages, just 2. My hands shook reading it. He said he'd never had the guts to stand up to her, that he'd always done what she told him. "It was easier," he wrote. "And I told myself I was keeping the peace. But the truth is, I let her push you out." He said he remembered the day she made the plaque, how she said, "We'll just leave her off until she comes around." Until she comes around. Like I was broken, like I was the one who needed fixing. "She made it sound like you walked away," he wrote, "but it was her who closed the door first." There was more. He wrote that she told people I chose to be a single mom, that I was stubborn and selfish for not putting Ben up for adoption like she had suggested. Yeah, she actually said that once, years ago, after I gave birth and told her I was keeping him. "She said you'd ruin your life," he wrote. "But you didn't. You raised a beautiful boy, and I'm sorry I never said that." I cried reading it, not because it fixed anything, but because it was the first real thing he'd ever said to me in years. And that letter, it lit something in me I hadn't felt in a long time. Not rage, purpose. I needed to show people who my mom really was. And I knew just how to do it. The next family gathering was coming up fast. It was my grandpa's 90th birthday. They were throwing a big party in Charlotte. Banquet hall, catered food, speeches, the whole thing. I hadn't planned on going. wasn't even invited. But once word got around that I knew about the tree and had been asking questions, people started calling me. Cousins, aunts, even a few old family friends. People wanted to know why I'd been left off. They wanted the real story, so I told them. Quietly, one by one. I didn't go on a rampage, I didn't post it online. I just told the truth. Calm, clear. I told them what Mom said when Ben asked where he was on the tree. I told them what Aunt Teresa and Amanda told me. I told them what my dad had written in that letter. And slowly, something started to shift. People stopped defending her. Stopped calling it a mistake. Stopped pretending I was just the black sheep acting out again. They started seeing her. The real her. And then, twist of all twists, Mark's wife, Chrissy, messaged me. She wanted to meet. Said she had something to tell me. We met at a little coffee shop just outside town. She looked nervous, like she was about to confess to a crime. "I'm not trying to start drama," she said right away. "But there's something I think you should know." I just nodded. Let her talk. She looked me in the eye and said, "Your mom's been talking about taking Ben out of her will." I blinked. "What?" She told Mark she didn't think he deserved anything. That he wasn't really family, since you never married. Said it wouldn't be right to give him anything when her real grandkids barely get enough. I couldn't breathe. This woman who used to babysit Ben, who smiled in his face, who asked for photos of him, who told me she loved him like her own. She'd been planning to cut him out of everything, to erase him in death the same way she tried in life. Chrissy looked shaken. I told Mark it was wrong. He said it wasn't his decision, that it was her estate, her choice. But I had to tell you, I thought you should know. I thanked her, paid for her coffee, and walked out without another word. In the car, I just sat there, hands shaking, mouth dry, heart thudding so hard I thought it might break my ribs. I didn't know what I was going to do yet. But I knew I couldn't stay quiet anymore. She could lie. She could erase us. She could paint me however she wanted. But I was done playing quiet daughter. And now I had names, I had proof, and I had people who were finally ready to listen. I didn't plan revenge the way movies show it. No yelling in the rain, no smashed plates, no dramatic speeches. I waited. Grandpa's 90th birthday came fast. Big banquet hall in Charlotte, white tablecloths, slideshow of family memories. Everyone dressed nice, pretending nothing was wrong. I almost didn't go. But then Ben asked me something the night before. "Are we family with anyone else?" he said. That settled it. I asked Aunt Teresa if she could watch Ben for the night. She said yes without hesitation. First time anyone in that family stepped up without conditions. I drove to Charlotte alone. When I walked into that hall, heads turned. You could feel it. That low buzz, people whispering. My mom saw me from across the room. Her face went tight like she'd just swallowed something sour. She walked toward me fast. "What are you doing here?" she hissed, smiling so no one else could see it wasn't friendly. "I'm family," I said. "Right." Her smile froze. Before she could say anything else, Grandpa's oldest friend took the mic. Time for speeches. People clapped. Mom relaxed a little, thinking she'd dodged something. She hadn't. Because after the speeches, after the cake, after the slideshow full of carefully chosen photos that skipped whole years of my life, the event coordinator announced, "And now, we have one more thing. A family message." My mom's head snapped toward the stage, so did Mark's, so did everyone else. The screen lit up, not with photos, with text, big, clear, black letters on a white background. "Where are we?" Murmurs filled the room. Then photos started appearing. Screenshots, the family tree wall zoomed in, names circled, empty space where mine and Ben's should have been, then audio, my mom's voice, clear as day. "Let's not ruin the moment." Someone gasped. People turned and stared at her. She stood up, shaking. "Turn this off," she snapped. "This is inappropriate." But it didn't stop. The next slide showed messages, quotes, the lies she'd told. "She thinks she's too good for this family. She chose to leave. She asked not to be included." Then the final message appeared. "This was never my choice." I stood up. Every eye was on me now. My legs were shaking, but I didn't stop. "I didn't plan to do this," I said. "I just wanted my son to know he mattered, but you all deserve to know the truth." I told them everything. Simple, straight. What she said to Ben. What she told the family. What she planned to do with her will. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. That made it worse. My mom collapsed into a chair. Mark looked like he'd been punched. Danielle walked out. Grandpa started crying. Quiet, broken sobs, and then something I didn't expect happened. People started standing up. One by one, aunts, cousins, even family friends, they apologized, out loud, in front of everyone, not to my mom, to me. The coordinator shut the event down early. People left in silence. My mom tried to talk to me in the parking lot. "Please," she said, "you embarrassed me." I looked at her. "You erased my child," I said. "This is just the proof." Then I walked away. Here's the part where karma comes in. 2 weeks later, my mom lost control of the family narrative. People stopped calling her. Invitations dried up. Cousins who believed her for years stopped visiting. Then Grandpa changed his will. Publicly, he left Ben a trust, not huge but meaningful, and he wrote a letter explaining why. My mom wasn't mentioned at all. That broke her. But here's where my karma hit. I realized something after all of it. I stayed too long. I let it go on for years because I wanted peace, because I hoped she'd change. She didn't, and I let my son get hurt before I stopped it. That part is on me. I cut contact completely, changed numbers, blocked emails. Ben and I moved a few months later. New town, new start. We built our own wall, no names carved in wood, just photos, messy ones, real ones. And one drawing Ben made. A tree, 2 branches, 2 names, that's it. I lost my parents that day. But my son learned something more important. That family isn't who claims you, it's who refuses to erase you. And if that costs me everything else, so be it.